This is a Purple Line Express.
Hey, my name's Colin Baker with Seibold Baker. I'm their rep here in Chicago, Illinois.
No, it could get crazy in there.
Yeah.
Like
in a good way.
In a safe way.
Or you can jump on it, you can stand on it, you can power wash it.
This is Merchandise Mart.
Well, welcome to the Wyzendale Weekly Wrap-Up, where we talk about architecture, design, and everything in between. I invited two tastemakers for the nightlife here in Chicago and beyond to join and just kick it and just talk music. Go ahead, you guys can introduce yourself.
Yeah. I'm A and Spade, DJ, producer, dancer. If you're in Chicago, you probably see me around dancing, DJing a while. You feel me? Yeah, just like what Felix said.
Nice.
Nightlife curator. You feel me?
Nice.
And then there's my brother. You feel me? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
For sure. SlotAh, producer, DJ, nightlife curator.
Yeah.
Fact.
Been doing that for like maybe the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I see you guys. You guys have been on fire, man. You guys are definitely like I think of you guys as a team, right? Like all your whole network as a team, right? And I'm always, I'm sure it's not anything new. Like I'm sure there's always been teams out there, right? Since the beginning of fucking hip hop, there's been teams, right? Yeah. And how I always wonder, like, how do people capitalize on that? You know what I mean? Like being a team, because you know so many people and you have so much talent at your fingertips, literally and figuratively. You know what I mean? So like, how does that? And I know you guys have like multiple nights going at different spots, but how has that been like building that?
Man, our relationship actually started out almost kind of like mentoring. Would you say that?
Yeah, it was kind of like it was kind of like a short-lived mentorship, really, because it was so like how we met. Right, we met at Revel Room. Yep. I think it was about 5-6 years ago. Yeah. And he only had a residency. I believe it was only Saturday nights.
Okay. Yeah, it was Saturday nights there. I had a couple in different places in the city, but every Saturday I was at Revel Room.
Yeah.
So he came through one night on a random, and I saw all of his homies were dancing, so I actually just started playing toward them.
And I probably done gave him about 20 daps that night because it was one of those things.
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic though,
pre-pandemic. You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Muggs was not scared. You're just
for sure,
hand-to-hand contact.
Yeah.
But because it was one of those moments where he was playing not only he was barely playing the hits, and that's what done it for me. But he was playing deep cuts and stuff from SoundCloud. And I was already really heavily up on SoundCloud because I was following Selection for while I think they was in their third year. That's when I encountered them for the first time, and I was like,
were they on Rinse or were they still the college?
I believe they was on Rinse. It was actually before they even got on Rinse.
Yeah.
And so it was just I've been up on their music for so long, and to hear that his music selection was on that level. Yeah. I was just oh, this man cold.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, I was just you know what? I'm gonna just follow where he goes.
Nice.
He has that shit. So I'm just if I know I want to go somewhere, I want to dance. I know I know where just to go where he's at, and then I'm just there vibing. And then from there, it just became. It was just a regular thing. I became a regular, showing up, just showing love, and then from there,
100% what happened.
Yeah,
there was a period of time. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There was before Ace, and now there's with Ace.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I went from not seeing this dude ever to seeing this dude every weekend. And at the time, I only knew him as a dancer. I didn't know he had aspirations of DJing. And I want to say like maybe a couple weeks out, we just started talking, and I believe it was his birthday.
Yep.
And I was like, "Yo, bro, like you're about as here as I am. Like you're pretty much a rezo at this point, like without DJing." Like he was like, and I told him, I was like, "Yo, like why don't you DJ for your birthday?"
Nice. Came
in there, blessed it, and then from there we just kind of built like a big brother, little brother relationship.
Yeah.
And what's super dope about it is that there's sometimes that people ask for information or yo, I want to become an architect. How do I do it?
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, like you just gotta go.
Yeah.
You just gotta go. You gotta try. You gotta mess up. You gotta do whatever. You started giving him information, and my favorite thing about it was that like the little information I would give him, he would go 5 times past that.
Mm-hmm. Above and beyond, for sure.
Above and beyond. Like,
Man.
if there was like another level of above and beyond, he was going above that. So it just made it super easy for us to work together.
Yeah, for sure.
So when I had opportunities, because I knew he was consistent, I know he was talented. Yo, come rock.
Yeah.
And so now I'm able to spread a check to my homie.
Yeah.
And we're building a relationship as we're going through that. It's the same thing. Shout out to Sin. Shout out to City.
Yeah.
The homies, the brothers.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Sin did that for me on my come up.
Yeah.
My homie Castle did that for me on my come up. And so my brother Ad too, we were talking one day. He had just got into mentorship through Guitars Over Guns. And I was like, man, you know what? I need to get back into teaching. I need to get back into whatever. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I don't do with him is I don't hold back information. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You die eventually. Mm-hmm. The information at some point has to go to somebody, and I prefer it to go to somebody who you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like who I've connected with.
Yeah.
Like, information is technically your inheritance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully
knowledge. Knowledge is power, man, for sure.
So you don't start where I started.
Right.
Hopefully you start above where I started and you go farther than where I went.
And then pass it on.
And you just pass it on.
Yeah.
So that's
and then you open it for Jazmine.
Man,
What's up with that, yo?
crazy.
It was
So proud of my
honestly,
bro.
It's honestly that whole situation was real crazy. So I shout out to my brother Devin. That's my A1 day one since high school. He's a year above me, but like that's always been my big homie for real too. So he actually is a senior graphic designer at Live Nation.
Okay,
right?
cool.
And man, he was just like telling me that like he had got an email from one of his colleagues at his job. He was like, "Oh yeah, no, we're looking for a DJ," and he was like, "Oh, the first person I could think of was Ace."
Yeah,
cause like he's been there since like the Rev Room days. Like my birthday set, he was there since then. That was like literally, honestly, my first shot for real of actually DJing. Okay, and since there, he's. I mean, we've been rocking with each other even before that, so we have like a long history, and so So when he was like, all right, since he got the opportunity to like recommend for a DJ, he was asking me for my availability. It was on a Wednesday evening, and I was just like, oh hell yeah, no, send him my information. I got on it real quick, and then
there's a piece that you might be leaving out.
What's up?
You do this what? You do DJing full time. If you had another obligation, either be a job or something else, you probably wouldn't have been able to, or you would have been doing some BS in order to make it happen. I just want to point that out. So just in case you think it's that easy,
no, it's not that easy.
Go ahead.
No, there's a lot. I guess because like we just jump into the question of just
I just wanted to, because I know there's people listening and watching. I just want to make sure that like, oh man, he just got a phone call from his homie.
Yeah,
who just happened to work. No, my dog. Not only did
there's
he
a
get
lot.
the phone call from his homie, he's been doing the work.
Yeah,
and he's also. You know what I mean?
There's a lot. I think
sure.
I feel
I just wanted to put that out there. Go ahead.
I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. And that's see, if you want to know who Slot is, that's who he is. He's the attention to detail person for real. And
well, it takes a lot of hard work to get into that position, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, because like also like we live in a day of age of like, you know, just the information and then also like social media. Yeah. And like social media, we were talking about highlights earlier. Yeah. That's all what people see.
Yeah, for sure.
It's highlights. And so when people come into here, they just think it's like easy, like, oh, I just got to get viral and I'm good.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Yeah. So back to the Jazmine story though. So after like, you know, putting in all that work and like he was able to like just be like to be able to recommend me because of the fact that he was able to know the work that I do. He sent my information over to his colleague, and then his colleague sent him back email saying that like, oh, they're just gonna look for like, you know, 2 or 3 other DJs. So it wasn't even guaranteed.
Facto.
So it was just like I was like, all right, cool. Like whatever happens, you know, like I'm still gonna always keep putting in the work. I was just like, you know what, but at the same time, I was like, no, fuck that. No, I'm gonna manifest this. like I want to do this so bad. Like this will be super dope. I feel like it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And so then it was I think it was like 2 days later. I had another homie who was just coming over at the crib. We was just kicking and shooting the shit, playing 2K.
Yeah.
I'm getting my ass bust and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
But then like I get an email. And then it's from it was a representative from Live Nation. It was like an artist offer for that evening.
Yes, sir.
I literally stopped. I dropped the
Yeah.
controller.
That's dope.
I literally get up. I'm pacing around my room. I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then like instantly, like right after that, I actually called them up and I was just like, hey, yo,
Yeah.
guess what, bro?
Yeah. That's awesome, yo.
And then like, so then the day comes and I also had my girlfriend with me. Shout out to her for like being there during this process. Cause like in the car ride while we was going over there, I was quiet. Like very, very quiet. Cause like the first thing I was thinking of was
Going to the set?
going to the set.
Okay,
Going to the set.
Nerves.
Nerves for sure.
Nerves. Like it's like excitement, but nerves because like I'm thinking like, damn, what is gonna be the first song I want to play? And
Oh my
I'm
God,
and
yeah.
I really do
Yeah.
love Jazmine Sullivan. Of
Yeah.
course, because of the fact that she's performing, I can't play none of her stuff.
Yeah.
But I was just like, damn, I don't know what song I'm gonna play with.
You know what that's called, man? That's called empty. Was it empty? Was it with the painter?
Canvas?
Empty
Empty
canvas.
canvas. The empty canvas syndrome. Yeah. So wait, so what'd you open up with then?
It was a SoundCloud edit that I rock with. I'm trying to remember exactly. It was
If you can't remember, don't worry, we can
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't remember. I
Yeah.
honestly don't remember because all I know is that because like how normally when I play when I do my sets, I just kind of like start off at a song that like I really really like and fuck with, and it can range from anything like for real. It can start either from R&B, it can start from like hip hop or like just like something vibey, like something like kind of like in between like maybe around like the 90s, 80s, late 80s, 90s BPM and just go from there. I don't like really like to go through and kind of like set up like the songs I'm going to play in order because
Gotcha. You gotta feel it out.
I feel it out because like
Yeah.
it's like we talked about earlier a little bit. It's an energy exchange.
Yeah.
So I'm like peeping what's in the room, what's in front of me, and I'm just like, all right, you know what? Whatever I'm seeing, I'm gonna kind of like score it. It's kind of like scoring a movie,
Yeah.
and then we're just gonna go from there.
Yeah.
All I know is that I had the goal in mind. I was just like, we're just gonna have fun,
Yeah.
and then from there, everything just kind of fell into place. Like the next songs, I just knew what to play.
Yeah.
Then I started kind of like doing my DNA techniques, going from like playing an original song and then how that song was sampled in like
Yeah,
a
for sure.
modern song that everybody uses, and then just kind of like playing around, literally playing around with records and
Yeah.
like playing with people's kind of emotions a little bit and kind of
Yeah.
like fake them out and stuff. It was a really dope experience. I even got to bring out Jazmine. Like after my set, I had to get on the stage and like get the room hype and everything for her
Very
to
cool.
come out.
Man, I've got the host, man.
Yeah.
I got to host it. It was
What
crazy.
was it, a private event or
It was a
it
private
for?
event.
Yeah. Okay.
It was
Gotcha.
a private event,
Gotcha.
like invite only.
Yeah. Because
it
she
wa-
was on Thursday, right?
Wednesday.
but she was
No,
on.
no, it
Lala.
was Wednesday. She was
on Thursday.
Yeah, she was on
yeah,
Thursday.
she was
Because
on
I think
Thursday.
I saw her on the Hulu live stream, and then I saw your guys' stuff on that Wednesday. So yeah, that's dope for sure.
Yeah, it was dope, man.
Yeah.
People still kind of like talking about it now. I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm kind of over that. I need it because like I want to move past it. Like I want to keep moving forward, and so I have like bigger visions of what I want, what I see myself doing and want to do.
That's cool.
And so, like,
And did you guys go to Lala?
I avoid that shit like the plague, bro.
like I made a promise to myself that I'm not going to Lala unless they invite me to perform at one of the stages.
Okay.
Like, just so they could just be a discipline for me.
Yeah.
Just to like be focused and just do that.
I'm a little bit different, bro. I've been DJing for about like 11 years. I really struggle with just going into random groups
Okay.
for no reason. Just going to like if I can find a spot behind the booth where it's kind of not hella, my bad, where it's not hella people.
Yeah.
I'm good. If I can find a corner, I'm good.
I'm quite the opposite. Yeah, no, I'm quite the opposite.
I can't do the whole, excuse me, Let me get by you, the shoulder shuffle, bro. And that's super prevalent because everybody's fighting to get to the front of the stage at those concerts. I'm good. Just give me a VIP ticket. Let me get my little spot.
Absolutely.
Bong, I'm good.
Sure. That's all the extras. That's on my girl for real. But I'm like, again, I'm like the quite opposite because like I said, I'm a dancer. Like people that like see me around in the city or like see me at events, you know, I'm always like grooving and moving and all that stuff. I'm like one of those people that I know how to like clear out a circle because like they know I'm about to get ready to like go crazy.
Yeah, but you see what you're doing now? You about to dance.
Right.
I'm trying to chill.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not on that type time. That's
Well, and it's also like I was telling because we went down to the Silver Room block party. And
yes, sir. Shout out to Eric. Man.
Yeah, shout out to all that whole team over there. We saw Sun spin too.
Fire.
And during one of the performances, like people were dancing, right? And everybody was dancing. Whereas like I feel like in some of the clubs or obviously depending on where, but like people aren't used to seeing people dance, right? No, so it's like a thing. Like people are just kind of like,
foreign concept.
Oh, what? You're having that much fun like by yourself? It's like, yeah, everybody can dance. You know what I mean? And I mean, obviously, the reason I don't cut a rug is because everybody's got cameras out and stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, well, I can't dance, but I'm just saying.
Hey, I mean, everybody has a groove,
yeah,
though. That's like my thing.
Exactly.
But no, you're absolutely right. No, it has became a foreign like concept for people. Like, at one point, when I went to a Troy Boy concert, I was just dancing, just doing my own thing. I wasn't even fighting in the front. I was just like mid-section. Because it was at Concord Music Hall, so I'm like in the middle, literally in the middle of the floor.
Is that the one? Did they give out the glasses for that concert? I think I went to one of his concerts. He gave like the 3D.
Yeah,
that's
a different. That was a different concert. This one was more so kind of like a Cirque du Soleil type of like vibe.
Oh, okay.
So that was like
just for clarification. Who is this?
Troy Boy.
Oh,
Troy Boy.
I'm out the loop. My bad.
No. So Troy Boy, he's a producer from London, but I believe he's based in Miami.
Okay.
I believe. But he makes like electronic dance music. Like it's like I wouldn't really call it EDM because it's more kind of like trappy. It's like really
I was gonna say more trappy, right?
Yeah, more trappy, hard bass heavy, and it's like really really fire. Like his percussion game in that is crazy, and he makes music particularly for dancers for real. Because like you see a lot of his music or hear a lot of his music being played at battles and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Because of like his intricate details and like glitches and all that stuff. Yeah. Super fire. So I went to go watch his concert, and he had like literally dancers off the ceiling. The actual dancers come out, an orchestra group playing during the sets. It was like a whole experience.
Yeah, for sure.
But so like while the music he's playing his set and stuff like that, I'm just dancing, having a great time. I had this one girl come up to me and she was just like, "Yo, I need whatever you're on." And I told her straight up, I'm like, "I'm sober." Yeah, I'm there's no like alcohol, there's no Molly, no drugs, none of that. Yeah, this is purely me. You're lying. Nah, I'm not. Like, I'm super serious. Like, this is me. She's just like, "Oh my God, like, you're really having this much?" I'm like, yeah. I love music so much.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how I honestly, like, I don't care if, like, whoever's watching, if people are watching me or not watching me, I'm just going to be in my own world for real.
Yeah.
So,
definitely. Yeah, I do somewhat think, like, it's a foreign concept to people for sure.
Yeah. Like, nightlife changed.
Yeah.
Like, about a couple decades ago.
Yeah.
Where it stopped being about like actually coming through the dance.
I know.
Like you lost a bunch of music in there. Like you lost the ballad. Mm-hmm. You lost like you lost quite a bit of ground in terms of like actual club experience.
No. I agree, and I think it's so tough. Like everybody wants to be that fucking flash in the pan like hotness. You know what I mean? Even with music and everything, design too, and actually, really quick, let me give a shout out to Seibold Baker and Sixinch for hosting us. Yes, be sure to check out the presentation of the furniture at the end of this podcast. But yeah, what were we talking about? The flash in the pan.
Flash in the pan being in the club.
Oh, music. Yeah. So like, I think music is even released differently now, obviously, right? Which changes the format of how the music comes out, right? Because now you have to read the letter on like Apple Music from the artist, right? Whereas you could see so much artwork and stuff that goes into that, right? It's so different. I haven't checked out the latest Kendrick album. I don't know if you guys have gave that one a spin.
I gave it like maybe one or two passes just because it was a big release.
Yeah.
But other than that, I haven't really gone back to it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I haven't heard. Anything you guys listen to right now, or what are you guys really listening to?
Shoot, dude. I've been on like a lot of old music. So like
Yeah.
I've been listening to like a lot of like Sir or like old in comparison to what's out right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I guess in terms of new people, like probably Blast.
Okay.
There's another dude named Rimble out of that I absolutely love out of
LA. Oh, is he
yeah,
from LA?
it's San Pedro, but it's
Yeah.
essentially LA County.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Him, P-Lo from the Bay.
And how do you guys even listen to so much music, right?
So at least for me, I go between SoundCloud, Hype Machine, and then with Apple Music, you can actually see what your other homies are listening to.
Yeah.
okay.
So you can kind of tap into whatever they're, you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
it'll almost
interesting.
make a playlist for you.
And are you just doing like normal daily shit when you're listening to it? Or yeah. Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
So like what I'll do is I'll throw on Hype Machine, put it on like a speaker, and I'll just go clean.
Okay, gotcha.
And all right, bet. What's that?
Yeah.
Heart
Yeah.
save. All right, cool.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then at least for me, like to add on to that, because like I use SoundCloud as well. Sometimes I'll use Spotify because the Spotify playlisting systems, like the algorithm is actually crazy.
Fire.
Really?
Crazy. And so I'll find new music that way. But then also I kind of like started doing like a little series on my Instagram like once a week where I
What day?
Either like Monday
Nope,
or
just call it. What day? Monday. Tight. Monday at what
Start
time?
the week, right?
For sure.
so Monday. So typically Monday at 12 at noon, I'll put on my stories asking people what are they listening to or like what's their favorite records, and the response to that is actually really really fire. Like people definitely put me on to crazy shit I probably wouldn't even find myself.
Yeah,
and it kind of like started like a low-key community of people that I know I could rely on for like, you know, new hot shit or shit that I could really believe in and I could like throw into my sets and stuff like that. And so,
Nice.
yeah.
And then that just hopping back on the nightlife stuff. What nights you guys got going on? I know that you were doing the that beat night.
Yeah.
Props to that. How did that develop? Like what?
So, I want to give big props to Uncle L and a couple other cats. When I initially got in, and this is, I'll try to keep it quick. How I got in DJing was I saw Flying Lotus live at North Coast the first year that they came out. He had just had a record with Erykah Badu, blah, 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 blah. I misinterpreted what he was doing. I wanted to play my own beats. I ended up finding out later after I invested all this money in DJing, he did some total other shit. So from there was a group called, and I'm super sorry, man. Big shout out to Uncle L. Shout out to a bunch of the OGs who were really running the scene here. They used to have a night at Rodan in Wicker Park.
Okay.
Where it was essentially like just a beat night. They would book you. You would come through rock, and I would go to a couple of those. And I was like, yo, this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to host my own, but I also wanted to figure out a way to add like production value to it. I wanted to be able to like, instead of it, a lot of the tables are hella low. It's not like the equipment's up to you kind of how you would be if you were DJing. Mm-hmm. So you bent over 90 degrees onto a table to mess around with some equipment in order to play for people. I was like, all right, bet. All the things that I was frustrated with in terms of the beat scene when I would go travel to go play, I'll be like, bet, I want to do that here. Mm-hmm. So that way I can be the example of what
A great
to
one.
do.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to say like close to 5 years, maybe 5-6 years ago, we started doing them at Sub T.
Okay.
The Subterranean, for those who aren't from Chicago, that's like a Chicago staple. Mm-hmm. But we started doing it there in the bottom floor, moved to Deadbolt, and then through a really, really, really good friend of mine by the name of Baragoon, we ended up moving it over to Emporium in Wicker Park.
Gotcha.
And the aesthetic fit, the stage fit, the sound system was quality.
Crazy.
And then we started finding out that some of our producers had other talents. So big shout out to my man, Sherm Wolf. Sherm he's just he's a gear nerd. And so he ended up going, during the pandemic, he ended up going back to school to learn 3D animation.
Oh, wow.
And so literally when you come to the event, There's a whole thing of animation that he created. So there, since the event is called Open Swim, everything's water based. So all the equipment that he designed is like in a pool,
Like floaties.
floaties of like NPCs.
Sick. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? All the like the
Yeah.
equipment that people use to perform or to make music.
Yeah.
So it's floating by. It's other graphics, and so from there, man, that's kind of what it grew into. I have like quite a dope support system. Shout out to Rashid Hadi, cousin Vinny, international MC, my homie Neek. What we've been able to do is kind of there was also a really, really big event, I want to say like maybe 06, 07, called the Red Bull Big Tune Beat Battle.
Okay.
They would go all around the country finding really dope producers who later went on to do crazy stuff. So 14KT, DiBiase, Seasick, who produced a bunch of stuff for like Meek Mill and
Interesting.
stuff like
Logic.
that. Yeah. You actually, I wouldn't say you name them, but they would all battle.
Okay.
And so every year, one year they had the championship here in Chicago at what's the venue above Smart Bar? Metro.
Metro.
At the Metro. We ended up going to that, and I was just so blown back by it. I was like, bet I want to start tapping back into that energy
Yeah.
for the beat battle. So what I normally format it as is we do 1 month of finding people for the open beat portion, which is like an open mic.
Okay.
From there, we pull some of our favorites from there, and then we have them battle it out in front of everybody.
The same night.
Different night. So,
Gotcha.
so say, for instance, like, we'll have an open mic version of it in May.
Okay.
In June, we'll have the battle.
Battle. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so that way, not only is iron sharpening iron, you're also having a little bit of excitement.
Yeah.
You know what I
Building
mean?
it up, yeah.
Yeah.
So is it once a month?
So it is once a month.
Okay, gotcha. And are they making the beats right there, or are they just coming and showing everybody the beats?
I'm glad you asked about that. So for our event, we're going to be changing formats a little bit.
Okay.
But right now, everybody's coming in with stuff that they've made.
Okay, gotcha.
However, they're performing it, though. So it's almost kind of like the same way you would go see an EDM DJ set.
Yeah.
It's like that, but for beats.
Gotcha.
Like for hip-hop, or because in our night, it's open format as well. So if you make house, if you make juke, if you make drill, if you make... I don't care
That
what
Jersey
you make.
Bounce is having a moment right now back too.
Facto.
You know
Like-
what I mean? Damn.
But like that's the whole thing though.
Yeah.
The beauty in it is that you get a chance to see people who a lot of producers are shy. A lot of producers don't necessarily have the best social skills. They're just really talented.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so this gives you a chance to essentially, like in any movie that you'll watch, it gives you a chance to break fourth wall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Bet. Now you know who's really raw. Now you get an opportunity. This person gets a chance to connect, and you weren't necessarily aware of them out the gate anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And do they have like what's the time limit? I guess how do you know, or do you just give it like 5 tracks, or like how is that?
If
Is
it's
it that like structured? I guess I'm just curious.
depends on the event. So if it's a beat battle, it's 1:30.
Okay, gotcha.
If it's the actual open mic, it's 10 minutes.
Okay.
Because we're working in over like maybe a 4-hour period, maybe like 16 people.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then for the battle, we bring that down to 4. So recently, I want to give a big shout out to DJ True. He started a record store called Miyagi Records here in the city. They're going to be opening a brick and mortar very soon. They had a 2-year.
That's dope. Nice, man.
Fire.
Yeah.
I'm so happy
yeah.
for my bro.
Yeah.
But him.
Sorry. Let me
No,
go
go
back
ahead,
on that.
go ahead.
That's inspiring too, right? Because you see all these old record stores, right, and these kind of establishments, and you think to yourself, man, you guys like need some new blood in it, right? So I'm really curious to see what he does with, or like the programming, right? Like,
sure.
And then you lay it out because now it's a different beast, right? Because now you can, do the live streams or have DJs come in and sell and perform in the shop, you know.
Absolutely. It leaves a lot of space for innovation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You could throw a gallery on the wall like that. That's awesome, man, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So this past Sunday at Silver Room, Me, myself, another brother by the name of Fest Grandioso. There was a night called Open Beat at Cafe Mustache once a month, last Fridays of every month here in Chicago. We came together to do a live beat battle.
Nice.
So this one's different, though. It's a lot what you were asking about beforehand.
Gotcha.
So we present them with the samples. I believe for this one, it was about maybe 15 samples. They can only use the samples to make a beat. So there's no kits. There's no going to a website. There's no YouTube. There's nothing else.
Live.
Live.
Yeah,
You have to make those beats. You're having beats while you have record. What do you call them? I would call them like curators, like record curators. They're DJs essentially.
Yeah.
Selectors. There we go. That's probably a better way to call it.
Yeah.
Like, so while selectors are playing records, and so we gave them about maybe 4 hours to make multiple beats out of what we had, and so we were able to have different rounds.
Yeah.
Do it. It was fire.
Yeah, there used to be an event called Cut and Paste here in Chicago where they had like 5 graphic designers or 6 graphic designers. There was a night, I think they used to be at Crowbar, maybe, old club back in the day. And they would have to battle each other. They would get a theme, and then they would just work on like the Wycom tablets to create flyers or to create whatever it is that it was, and the DJs were spinning. And I think White Shadow used to do that. DJ White Shadow.
Shout out to Paul Blair.
Yeah, Fall, exactly. And I remember seeing him at that because he had the Detroit D hat. I was like, oh shit. Yeah. But anyways, that format or that like live on the spot, like that's what people want to see, man. It's pretty creative, right? You know.
Wait. So there's a design.
Yeah. So like the same way we had the beat battle yesterday.
Yeah.
So where we control the pieces and they make everything.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. I'm gonna talk to him afterwards. Don't do it. Thank you. Keep going.
Yeah, which I've been, We'll talk about it, but because that shit's awesome. Because that's what I thought.
Exactly. I'm going like
I thought that's what you were going with the open swim thing.
Yeah. So but that's the thing though.
And that's where my mind went when you were talking about your boy doing the visuals and stuff. It's like, fuck, like I need to go there and start recruiting some kids and fucking working, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
at least for me, that's like, all right, cool. I'm 36.
Yeah.
I know that there's only so much time I have left here.
Yeah.
If I don't necessarily use the information that I've learned to benefit other people in order for them to go farther and do better and also add production value and a bunch of other things, I'm a loser, bro. Mm-hmm. You know how many people, like when I was attempting to come up, and don't get me wrong, it was just a way of the time.
Yeah.
It was, no, I'm not showing you my record.
Yeah.
You want to know what I sampled?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Bro, get that hard side eye.
No, it's corny.
Yeah.
I mean, and I get it for that time, but like, bro, if you found out about anything about finance or in any way that if you ever talked crazy about a trust fund, baby, dog, you don't get it.
Right.
At some point, you have to give information to somebody else in order for them to do what they do.
Yeah.
The way it works, at least in my head, is that blessings are fingerprints, bro.
Yeah.
They're for you. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
Whatever you get. I can't hate on that because whatever is yours is yours. I can't take it. I can't move it. I don't care if it's a girl. I don't care if it's a gig. If it's yours, fam, it's meant to be yours.
Yeah.
I can't take that.
But it's hard, like, so a lot of people aren't on that wave either, right? And a lot of people are like, I could see where it's like, it takes a lot of hard work. So people are like, no, I'm not just going to give you this stuff. Like, I'll help you and teach you. Yeah. But sometimes it's harder even to act on the ideas. Like, I don't mind sharing ideas because I know that it's hard as fuck to actually do the ideas. You know what I mean? Like, follow through. And so that's what's also challenging too, right? Like, you got to have the stones to actually pull it off. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. It's crazy.
But you know what's interesting about that though? Like, a night like that will be fire again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Particularly if you could pair it with the right thing.
Right. And it doesn't have to be that big of a scale, right? Like, it was sponsored by Adobe. Like, this whole thing was like, it was a huge fucking event. And I don't know why it burnt out.
That's something that, like, right now with all the technology that we have, what?
Yeah.
You're talking about a whole event that you could put together on Twitch.
Yeah,
You're talking about
yeah.
a whole, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a lot
Yeah.
of dope
avenues.
stuff that you can do
Yeah.
with that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, as you know,
Yeah.
like you just said, it's not that easy to come up with an idea, not much, and then actually follow through and execute.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
after a certain while, you kind of know it's like, bro, is it fear?
Right.
Can you itemize what's holding you back
Yeah.
from knocking this out? Is it that you can't, or is that you won't?
Right. Well, our 2-year, and shout out to Ace for throwing down a set at our 2-year.
Yes, sir.
We put some coin behind the live stream and the audio, and just to get all those assets, right?
Yeah.
There was, I thought a little bit more people would turn out. It was at the end of NeoCon. We're probably going to do the same thing again next year, and but make it more. I got some ideas for that event too, but what was important for me, people are like, oh, I thought there'd be a little bit more people. And I was like, yeah, me too. There's some people got sick or whatever. But for me, it was having those assets, right? Because now it's dope, right? Because now I have his set, which I'm going to release on our SoundCloud. I have the jam band. Tommy, shout out Tommy Carroll. You fucking killed it. I'm going to release his thing, right? And so now it's like that content is king. And it's like you were thinking, like, having that moment, but then what do you do beyond that, right? What do you do after that, right? So
And like, so I don't know. I got done listening to this whole thing about time management, which I'm horrible with. I'm working on, but it's being able to itemize things to make them passable or doable.
Yeah.
Sometimes something might be too lofty, not just because it's so lofty, but because you haven't itemized it and got rid of the ambiguity. For a long time, maybe it was just the way we're programmed here in the States. But essentially, when you start out, bro, they tell you that you're not prepared for something.
Fact though.
They tell you that out the gate.
Yep.
First grade, you know what? We're gonna prepare you for second grade, because after you get to second grade, you're gonna go to third, but you're not prepared for it, and so we're gonna prepare you this whole way through versus giving you the confidence ahead of time. Hey, you're talented already. We're just gonna get you to the next thing. It's a play on words, essentially.
Yeah.
It's a perspective thing.
sure.
So like, can you do it? Like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But what's beautiful is that now you've already given them proof of concept. This is what it looks like.
Right.
Next time you go to make that ask.
Right, absolutely.
It's like,
agreed.
because you recently bought, yeah?
Bought
A crib.
No.
You didn't buy one?
Trying to. No.
Okay,
no,
never
no.
mind.
No.
I bought a crib not that long ago.
No. Shout out to myself.
Yeah, shout out to me. Shout out to my wife as well. Shout out. I bought it. But nah, I didn't know shit about buying houses.
Oh yeah.
It's when you go through the actual process and you find out everything.
Oh yeah.
Same way you would if you bought a car.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? Damn, I want leather. Yo, fam, you know it's hot in the summer, right?
Right.
You wear shorts.
Yeah.
It's hoochie daddy time, bro. You're gonna burn your thighs up, bro.
Yeah.
Might be time to go cloth.
Yeah.
But you find the benefit or the lack thereof through going through the process and actually getting to the point of proof of concept. So big ups to you for doing that.
Yeah, man. It was
win, lose, or
it's
draw.
Yeah, man. You gotta. You're like you said. You're only here for a limited amount of time, right? So I was thinking to myself, damn, do I really want to drop the money and stuff like that? Because we got the main thing was Tommy Carroll, right? Because so he had 3 pieces. He had his drums, the guitar, and just his instruments, right? But in order to pick them up, we needed extra mics, which means we needed a big ass channel, which means upping the price. And I'm like, fuck, yo, like. It just got to be expensive, but I wanted it to be the proof of concept, right? And now I have those assets, I have everything, but now I have to work in order to like bundle it all together to show to people like, hey, this is what we can do and this is what I want to do, So it's, but you gotta put their money where your mouth is for sure. That's for sure.
But there's a bunch of people that might want to do something right now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. Because that's just. I think people confuse easy and simple. Like, easy is like, all right, cool, I'm gonna pick up that thing of water, but like, all right, cool, I'm gonna figure out how to take the top off without touching it. you might have figured out a way to do that. Now, the other way doesn't sound easy,
Right.
but it might be simple to actually do once you find out how to do it.
Right.
Bro. Take the steps, take the L.
Yeah.
And I guess that was one of the most beautiful things. I used to work retail at Apple for
nice.
maybe close to 5 years.
Okay.
I had the mentorship of a wonderful gentleman by the name of Jeff Mann. And when I initially started working there, it was a lot of I can'ts, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And one of the best things that I've learned from that experience was being able to say, like, I don't know, let's find out. There's a certain freedom in that. Because right now, there's somebody that's going to, like right now, had you talked to me maybe 10 years ago and you would have gotten to a sports conversation, fun fact, don't know shit about sports. Like, I know enough to keep up, you know what I mean? But like, you start talking about trade deals. Well, he got 40 million. Yo, my boy, I
don't know the stats, bro.
I'm not here for it.
Yeah.
But I would have played along.
Yeah.
Now I'm telling you, oh, dog, I don't know. But like, keep going. I'm listening to you so I can learn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You get a lot of that shit out of your way once you actually attempt. Mm-hmm. Once you actually are like, all right, bet, you know what? I'm just going to submit to me doing this thing. Mm-hmm. It's like catching a fade, bro. And for those who don't know what catching a fade is, it's like fighting.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to be able to do until it's time.
Yeah.
And then after that, you can make changes. You can make improvements. Mm-hmm. You can get better at it. Mm-hmm. Like, man, I remember the first open beat, bro. It was like 10 people there.
Yeah. Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
You want to talk about hurt?
Yeah.
I brought my homie from out of town. I put money in his pocket.
Yeah.
Guess who didn't leave with it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, you know what I'm saying? We're able to get sponsorships. We're able to pay our, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to City and Sin. They started SNS Reels.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? We're able to pay them to come out and film, grab photography and stuff like that. We're able to put money in our homies' pockets because, you know what, dog? That time I only had 10 people there.
Yeah.
That let me know, all right, cool, I know how to bet. If there's no one else here, if there's no engineer here and there's just equipment, I know how to do it now.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Beforehand, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to monetize the door.
Yeah.
I know now.
Right.
I didn't know how to monetize the bar. I know now.
Yeah.
You don't worry about starting in deficit.
Yeah.
The deficit is just a part of the game.
Yeah, you just got to go. Whatever happened to the Beats and Jeeps or whatever you guys were doing?
Oh, so that's Jay Stereo.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Jay Stereo's.
Nice.
So that was his concept.
Does he still do it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. Is that local? See here?
Yeah,
Give me
it's
my
definitely
headphones.
local.
Yeah. This probably won't come out before my girl's birthday, but I'm gonna get one of those fucking slingshots, those cars, and just roll around, yo.
Let's go.
Yes.
Go
I'm
crazy.
just looking forward to it. It's so obnoxious, but I love it. I gotta rock some music. I'm gonna do some like old Motown music, some like War, some
play
shit like
classics
that.
and
Yeah,
shit like
classics,
that.
yo, old school shit, yo. I'm so looking forward to it. That's what made me think of that Jeep and Beats thing. So yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that are in place. So right now I'm doing programming for this really, really dope Black-owned restaurant in Logan Square by the name of Duplex. I'm gonna shout out Laquan, shout out Michelle for giving me the opportunity to start doing that. But I was scared about taking that opportunity. Mm-hmm. Like, damn, I'm gonna be responsible for booking, handling the marketing, the social media portion of all this stuff.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And now you're gonna throw in an expense report I have to do every week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it's so normal that, okay, cool. Actually, the next situation I walk into, I'm expecting that now at a base. It's just changing your standards.
And that's comes from experience too, right? Like I know there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes. I mean, Ace, how do you come up with all your flyers? You make your flyers and stuff too, or how does that work?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, man. It actually took him to like really kind of be on my ass about like looking at like different art, looking at like basically what was the word for it? Like the hierarchy of information.
Hierarchy of information, but there are also different schools of art. that
Yeah.
you see every day.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
I actually kind of learned that through you when we were coming through for the design stuff.
Okay,
when we were
nice.
doing those gigs, like.
Yeah.
But there's class, like there's graffiti in here.
Yeah.
There's pop art.
Graphic,
There's
yeah.
a bunch of different things, and bro, and if you can kind of recognize it, you know how to maybe pull it out a little bit of what you can do to infuse that into your idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm actually now like in a space where like all the flyers that I've been putting out, I've actually designed those, but I kind of want to redesign and reimagine everything to be
Yeah, like
more of,
rebrand.
rebrand in a sense of just kind of like having it more my aesthetic of like what do I see myself or what do I want associated with me.
Yeah, for sure.
So then when I put it out, this is what people could see it and then they don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
It'll just be a consistent thing.
And how'd you get the name Aced, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh man, that was so I got the name A Spade.
Look at
I'm gonna use some grapes on this one. Go ahead, bro.
All right, so check it out. So fun fact, I did not know how to play spades until I got to high school. So
Okay.
like it's honestly like it's one of those like stereotypes that
Hold
like,
up, fun fact. I still don't know. But
What?
continue, man.
All right, I bet I got you.
Thank you.
I got you. So
That's great.
basically, it's like one of the stereotypes that is like a staple in like black culture. That like if you're black, right, you got to know how to play spades.
for sure.
You have to know how to play spades. If you don't, you could get your black card revoked. It was one of those things that I was just like, oh, really? Like people keep talking about how like spades and like up until like high school, like my freshman year, I didn't know what they were talking about. I was like, what cutting? What? Suits? What?
Yeah,
Partners?
Yeah.
Reneging? What is this?
Yeah.
What is this language?
Yeah.
And so like freshman year when I got to high school, like literally like every morning or during lunch, like lunch periods, I had like he was a junior, I believe. He was teaching me how to play spades. And so then when I learned the concept of spades, I was just like, oh, okay. Next thing you know, I started like playing like after 4 games of learning, became a dog. I started running people at the table
Nice.
in high school. So then I thought about the concept. So like if for anybody that doesn't know spades, basically it's a card game where you're playing with 4 people. It's you and a partner that's across from you. And the goal is that you're supposed to beat everybody's cards to like collect books. So there's all possible only 13.
Just before
Yeah.
books. As
Oh,
somebody who's watched the game but doesn't know how to play it, books is when you win a hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
So,
So
it's very similar to euchre, right?
Basically.
The white people euchre.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Hearts.
Something like that,
Hearts.
yeah.
Similar
Yeah.
to hearts, as well. And so like there's out of 13, there's like a total of 13 books that you could possibly receive. And the goal is you're supposed to win majority of them, you and your partner. And so, of course, you have like your suits and the spades. The spade suit is like the strongest, like highest cards in the deck.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the ace, right, is the strongest of like all the suits. And then the ace of spades is like the best card out of the whole hand or the whole deck.
Yeah.
And so I took that
That's
concept.
dope, y'all.
So I took that
That's dope.
concept. I took that concept and I was like, you know what, man, in anything that I do, so because of the fact that I'm not just a producer or dancer, but literally in anything that I do, I want to be the best that possibly is.
Yeah.
You feel me? So that's how I came up with the name A Spade.
Nice. I'm going to give a timeout real quick.
Trying to catch me rotten and dirty.
Nah, cause like
I wish we could turn the camera that way for that one, too.
no, so I grew up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, man.
Yeah.
All my white homies used to play hockey.
Yeah, Zamboni.
So that just reminded me of the Zamboni. Shout out to my man on the
The
on
mini
Carpet
Zamboni, yeah. No, that's dope. That's a real dope concept, and for sure, man. That's interested to see how you evolve that brand for sure. That's awesome. Cool. Well, anything for the year coming? I know we're already in August. This fucking year flew by, but do you guys already start thinking about like your do you guys do corporate gigs and shit like that, or like how far out do you guys like calendar plan? I guess.
For me, I try to calendar plan at least a month ahead.
Yeah.
I don't go too far.
Yeah.
But the big thing for me, right? It's like the train.
Hilarious.
Yeah. I'll wait.
It's all good.
On the 6400 Carpet Zamboni.
But no, so I have a child coming in December.
Congrats.
So right now I'm kind of like trying to knock out as much as I can, like terms of trips, gigs, because I know it's about to get really, really, really real for at least the next 6 months of my life. So trying to set up a few things where I can actually get consistency where it doesn't throw off too much, you know what I mean? But right now, that's 100% the goal. Like getting a new home for like new home residency, getting a studio space, like a less about music, but more just about a collaborative art space.
Nice.
And so, yeah, those are like the two goals for me. And
Okay. What about you guys?
For me, basically, just continuing collecting gigs as far as like, I got a couple weddings actually coming up. One in September, 2 in October.
Nice.
And one of them, I got to fly out to Florida for that for my
Very
homie
cool.
from high school.
Yeah.
So that's super dope.
Have you ever have you spun on? Sorry, not to cut you off.
no,
Have you
you're
spun
good.
on New Year's yet?
Actually, I've done a New Year's gig at the Walk-In, and that one was actually crazy.
Yeah.
The Walk-In is a space that's in Logan Square.
Right on Milwaukee Avenue.
Yep, and it's actually a really, really like nice spot. They even have a patio. It's really, really nice. The sound system is also amazing too. Like you would think it's just kind of like it's like a small little like friendly bar and stuff like that. No, it could get crazy in there.
Yeah.
Like
In a good way.
in a
safe way.
In a safe, crazy, good way.
Yeah.
But no, like
Want to preface that
Flavor,
because like
yeah.
sometimes, you know.
yeah,
things.
no, like
Well, Revel used to get crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Different kind of crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just want to point that out. Just in case you're like, oh man, I want to check
Nah,
that
I
out. I
probably should not
don't know,
say
but it
this.
gets crazy.
Right.
In a party sense, it is fun.
It's fun. It's
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, for
So
sure.
no, it's really, really, really fun. Like I've had people literally dance, like in the booth. Even people outside, because like I said, they have a patio. So when the windows is up, and people are just walking by, like next thing you know, they just stop at that spot and start dancing like outside. It's beautiful to see.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what I mean by like it's super. It gets crazy. Like it's fun like that. Like
Yeah,
people
nice.
outside are even dancing.
Are so you may spin there for New Year's, or what do you?
So actually, I don't know. As far as like this coming New Year's, I don't know yet.
Okay.
But I definitely do wanna. I do wanna be like in a venue, like a proper venue where,
Gotcha.
like for example, if we could do something at Concord, if we could do something at what's the other venue? What am I thinking of?
Chop shop.
Chop Shop, something
Okay.
like that. Like
Yeah.
I'll definitely be down for that type of thing.
That's cool.
The thing that, at least that I would like to see for you,
Yeah.
and just see for people in general,
Yeah.
or DJs in general, is having New Year's events that you curate.
Yeah.
What would that be like?
You finding the venue, you booking the
You
DJs.
you mean the DJ curates the
Yes.
curates
Yes.
it? Okay,
Prime
gotcha.
example, actually.
Interesting.
So there's actually one night that I did. It was actually for Wickerfest. Like it was like kind of like an unofficial after party for
Tres
Wickerfest.
Cabras.
Tres Cabras.
Okay.
So basically, I booked Slot and I booked DJ Mochi. Shout out to
Shout out
Mochi.
to the bro
He's
Mochi, man.
Nice,
been going
nice.
crazy. We all three of us came together to basically DJ the after party of Wickerfest, and so I was kind of like the point man, running everything, the time slots, making sure everybody knew when they were like playing.
Very cool. Where was it at?
It was at
Wicker.
Wicker Park.
Emporium at
Wicker
Wicker.
Park.
At Emporium. Gotcha. Okay.
Emporium
cool.
at Wicker Park.
Cool.
And so like coming up with the time slots like for everyone, like working with everyone to make sure that they know their when they're playing, how much they're getting paid.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. Even coming up with like the visuals for like the video wall and everything, getting that set up to be a little bit more official.
Yeah.
And then also booking a photographer to come through, take pictures and stuff like that. Or not even take pictures, a videographer, so we can
Gotcha.
get the recap. And that's actually
Those
the
assets,
process of
man.
it. Exactly.
For
And
sure.
so
But the curation portion is very. You can run into random bars, man, where you just deal with everybody, and sometimes that's just tight, but sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Like you'll be in the middle of playing like electric relaxation, and somebody wants to hear like, I don't know, rain on me, bring whatever that joint is, like
The old house joint. Rain on me.
the old '80s like pop joint. Not to say anyway.
there's a lot
Someone
of,
out there knew
there's
that.
a lot
Someone
of
just like,
Rain
oh my
on
God, I
Me's
know
out
that
there.
song. There's somebody out there that said that. But
there's a lot of Rain on Me's out there, man.
Yeah?
But I'm pretty sure I think it's Bring On Me.
Bring on you.
Bring on me, baby.
Oh, lean on me.
Yeah.
Take on me.
Take on me.
Take me. Yeah.
That happened. You're welcome.
Now I got it. Yeah.
Had the lyrics messed up.
Yeah.
But like being able to curate your own space.
Yeah. That'd be
Being
dangerous.
able to,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Bring people to your own world.
Yeah.
Because it raises, one, not only the production value, but it also creates a doper expectation. Because right now, there's somebody out there that's looking for something completely random
Oh,
Right.
fact.
to jump into. And mind you, you're going to be competing with corporate parties.
Right.
New York has some of the best New Year's parties for corporate. Shout out to Verizon. But I would love to see that here. I would like to see more DJs take a risk on curating and not just being like, fill in for this.
Yeah.
Well, it's a dollar thing too, right? Like I would think.
I mean, it's a dollar thing, but in terms of actual, like, you don't get the dollar without the brand.
Right. I was actually gonna ask you guys that too. Like, would you guys pick brands to work with? Would you guys be like picky with different brands, or like if a brand?
I feel like, well, you kind of have to a little bit because it has to make sense. As
Yeah.
far as like if it really relates to who you are, what you believe in.
Right.
Question: have you ever had somebody introduce you to somebody that's really important?
Yeah.
Like maybe two people do it, right?
Yeah.
Like one person that he's super close with, and then another person that he just kind of knows.
Mm-hmm.
When you get that, when you collaborate with other brands, you're essentially co-signing them in front of
Exactly.
your crowd.
Oh yeah.
So it's just trying to make sure that it matters, make sure that there's substance behind it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then, but I mean, if Pacific Sun's coming around and they're throwing you the ocean, the damn, what's the guy on the skateboard? What
The Ocean Spray?
Oh, the
Yeah, the
Ocean
Ocean
Spray.
Spray is coming throwing you fucking thousands of dollars, right?
Like for me, I don't drink.
Yeah.
So like, have I taken on liquor sponsorships for certain parties? Yeah, but like, I would much rather work with Jarrito. I would much rather work with Topo Chico. I would much rather work with Red Bull. I would much rather work with maybe something that would be used as either like a virgin cocktail or something like that.
Yeah.
Or
I would
mocktail.
want to, a mocktail or something like that.
Gotcha. I got
Stuff
you.
like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Just so you can give real value to it. Like if there was a
Authenticity too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Like,
also, like,
the bag is cool, but like the
also,
integrity
like,
is everything.
mocktails is actually kind of like coming up. Like the mocktail industry is actually coming up. They're making
sure.
stuff that's like, oh, you could get a non-alcoholic cocktail here, and they're starting to plan like non-alcoholic bars.
Yeah.
Key.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of like it's actually on the come up and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
that type of like, I guess brand or like sponsorship would make sense for him since he doesn't drink.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, where can people follow you guys, man? Thank you so much for coming to chop it up. Where can
For sure.
Thank you for having us.
Go ahead.
You go.
All right, tight. I bet. You can follow me at I am SlotA. That's IAMSLOT as in Tom, not Uncle though. And at House of Divac. Make sure to follow that. And also, if you want, I want to throw you a little bit of support. Shout out to Laquan. Shout out to Michelle. Make sure to follow the Duplex Chicago.
Cool.
And you can find me Aced Spade. Aced is
With a
past
D.
tense with a D, so it's ACEDSPADE.
Why did you add the tense? Sorry, not to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Ace?
I totally cut off your flow.
No,
I
you're good.
apologize.
You're good. So why not at the tense? I don't because like if I were to say Ace Spade, right? People would. It's super easy, and people would think, oh, Ace of Spades. No, I stand out. I've it's kind of like one of those things where it's like a self-motivation thing. Like I'm already like the best. You feel me?
Gotcha.
It's nothing new.
Gotcha.
Like I'm aware.
You're already there.
Yeah, we're already there. So
yeah.
it's just more so.
Yeah.
That's why
It's
I
almost
like
kind
it.
of like your Anderson Paak, like the period before the Pac.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And like what what Pac said too. He said if you forget the dot, I'm charging double for the feature. That's a fact.
That's how he.
So where can people follow you again?
So they
I
can follow me
apologize.
on IG, on Twitter, at Aced Spade, ACED, SPADE. Also my SoundCloud, same thing, Ace Spade. It's 2 words on SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, all of that. Like I said, I also make music as well, make original, make remixes.
Yeah.
You can find me on there.
Thank you guys. Before getting out of here, I want to just get on the record that I just finished watching the We Own the City on HBO, and the composer, I knew I was going to forget his name. The composer for the intro and the outro is Young Cat, but I just want to give a mad shout out. I think you guys should check it out. The intro is fucking ridiculous. I love it. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys. Appreciate it for sure.
Always, man.
All right. Thank you everybody for checking out the podcast with our guests of Slot and Aced. To tell us a little bit more about the furniture that we see and seen here, I have Colin with me. So go ahead, you can introduce yourself.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for having us on. I'm Colin Baker with Seibold Baker. We're Sixinch's representative here in Illinois. Sixinch is a Indiana-based furniture manufacturer, but the brand really was founded and found its identity in Belgium. And they wanted to be equal parts furniture and installation and art piece and creative, just kind of this creative force.
Nice.
And which is why as you look around the scene here, we see a lot of different materials. We see a lot of different shapes, everything from the graffiti on the walls to our big bright colors that we're looking here. What really separated Sixinch and what really made the brand is what we call Flex Plus coating, which is the material that I'm sitting on over here. And it was the material that allowed us to create really unique shapes because it's a spray-on coating. So we didn't have to worry about upholstering around big corners or big arcs.
Gotcha.
So it allowed it to become more like an art piece than it was a piece of furniture.
Yeah.
But, it's outdoor. You can jump on it. You can stand on it. You can power wash it. So it still gives you that durability and holds its shape. But that's
Nice.
really what separated the brand. So it's really cool. And they've made their U.S. headquarters and their U.S. home and manufacturing in Indiana. So it's a nice local Midwestern story with this really great European design differentiator.
Oh, very cool. So it started in Europe and then headquartered now in Indiana.
Yeah, it's a really unique model. So they actually franchise.
Oh, okay.
So think of it like McDonald's, right? Yeah. So Sixinch USA does all their manufacturing for the entire, all of America. They may do Canada as well, but every country that they have locations in, it's technically a franchise. You have to do the manufacturing yourself. You have to have the capabilities to do it yourself. But Michel, who is the original founder in Belgium, he goes and sets all these factories up, gives them the technology, gets them the machining, and then they run it from there.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's really
Very
unique.
Cool. Nice. And so do they do like the tables? Do they design the tables and all this as well?
They do. So this table is a part of our Elements collection, which is back over there. So this was designed by Populous Group. So we will reach out to external designers in using things that isn't in our wheelhouse. Our wheelhouse is going to be coated foam, upholstered foam, furniture. So a lot of modular pieces is where we're going to come into play.
Okay.
But things like tables, ancillary things, some of our new lounge chairs and side chairs, we'll use external designers like Populous to really help us tie that in to what our brand is already showing, right?
Gotcha.
That current brand story.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, yeah, man. Well, thank you for hosting us. And where can people follow you or reach out to you at?
Yeah, absolutely. So Seibold Baker, at Seibold Baker on Instagram, SeiboldBaker.com for our website, and then SixinchUSA.com for their website. And their social media is epically great.
Yeah.
These guys are much more of an experienced company than they are a furniture company. So you'll see them at all kinds of different concerts, different events, different art installations. They put a big setup at the NFL Combine one year.
Oh, wow,
so
nice.
they do really cool things. So yeah, give those guys a follow. So Sixinch USA.
Very cool. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
Your safety is important. If you observe unattended packages, vandalism, or suspicious activity, inform CTA personnel immediately. Doors closing.